Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a 15-part video series showing you how to create TEPLM house. Let's get started. So to start, let's open a new architecture template. So first thing we're gonna add on level 1 is a grid line, which is under architecture, and you can type in GR. So type in GR, and once you do, you will be able to add in some lines. So let's start off with a horizontal line. So let's add it from left to right. And as you can see, our grid bubble is on the right side. That is not a problem. As you can see, you can just click on the show bubble or check this part, and it will be shown on the left side as well. So that's easy. So now we can now press escape and then escape again. Once you click it back, you'll be able to type in CO or just click on copy. After that, make sure multiple is checked. And then now we can select this back and then pull it downwards. So the first number we're gonna type is 5117. Next is 3913. Next will be 2598. Next will be 2682. And then lastly 5525. So we did our horizontal. Now we're gonna start adding our vertical. So here we could just type in GR again. And then after that, let's add it from below to upwards. And then similar to here, we're gonna check this show bubble so that our grid bubbles will show on each side or each end. Now what we can do is press escape multiple times and then click on the grid bubble, and then here type A. So capital A, and then just click on the side. After that, type in CO, and then multiple is already checked, so we're good. Click it back and then pull it on the right side. So the first numbers we're gonna type is 3174. Let's make it 75. Next will be 4648. Next will be 5273. And then again we have 1743. Then press escape and then escape again. Now what we could do is we could move this onto the center. So we're just gonna estimate. So we're going to select everything, and then this is probably the center, around the center, so I'm just gonna put it on the center like that. So I'm happy with that. Here, what I want you to notice is if I click this one, you will see a very light dashed line. That's the indication that once you move one of this, all of this will move. So I'm just gonna move this one onto the left side, and then now I'm going to extend on this part. So I'm gonna grab it there, and all of them will follow. Here as well at the top, I'm gonna pull it up like that, and everything will follow. And it's a good idea to add in some dimensions. So we can type in DI, and then here we're going to add dimensions like that on each grid line, and then after that an overall line. Here as well for our horizontal, grid line on all, pull it up like that, and then an overall grid line as well. So here are all the dimensions for the horizontal, and here is for the vertical. So you can pause the video and then follow through. So the reason that we have grid line is so that you guys can follow along. It's easier to explain where to put walls and all of that. Also, for structural, most of the time, wherever you see a grid intersection like this, the A1, that's the point where structural engineers will add in columns. For here, this is an architecture design, so we're not gonna add in any structural, but at least you know what's the reason for this. Because there's a lot of question online, so at least I pointed out that those are the reason that I add grid lines as well. So now, the next thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna add in a roof line, so a level 3 for the roof, so that we could change the elevation as well. So we could go to our south elevation, and then from south elevation, the level 1 to level 2, let's change that. We can change it from here by selecting this numbers, and then here we're just gonna put it at 3000. We're gonna maintain all 3000 for that. So after that, we could go back here in architecture, and then we could type in LL, which is level. That's the easiest part, because once you add in level, so click on level, and then put in your 3000, immediately you will have the level 3 right there. Another option, but it's a longer form, is by just selecting this level 2 and then clicking on the copy command and pull it up, and you'll be able to put in 3000. But the issue with that is the level 3 is not yet created here. So to do that, you will need to go to view and then go to plan view, floor plan, and you will need to select the level 3, which is already highlighted, and just press OK. So basically you're creating a floor plan. So either way will work. There's also a lot of option. There's another option where you could select this, create a copy, or what you can do is select level, and then you could put in offset, and then you can select pick line. So each and every line you will have your line there, offset to 3000. As you can see, it's time consuming. Most of the time, it's either I use that or I use a different way of adding multiple levels. So that's a good way of adding that, or just copy command and then just add multiple lines. So in this way, I think the fastest way for you guys is just clicking on level, which is LL, so that floor plans is already added right here and you don't need to go to view again, go to floor plan, and then adding those kind of stuff. So whatever you choose, you can do it as well. Here, as you can see, ceiling plan is only from level 1 to level 2. And then once you add multiple levels, you will then need to add in different floors for ceiling plans. So you could add in reflecting ceiling plan, and it will add it like there. That's also another way for structural plan. You will need to click here and add in your structure plan right there. So just a quick explanation for those. And then here, I just need to pull it up so that everything is viewable right here. So there's another reason for that, because sometimes here, so for example, if I click here and pull it right there, you won't see anything right here. So as you can see, you won't see the vertical grid line. So now, once you pull it up and go back to level 3, you will see all of those. So those are the tips and tricks that at least I wanted to point out, so that everything is viewed, everything will be shown. And then here, most of the time, we put dimensions as well. It's up to you to put like that. Here as well, you can put dimensions. So everything is added, especially dimensions, and we can able to start. So now let's go to level 1. Here I'm just gonna click the close inactive views. This is a fast way of removing other views that is that you're not gonna be using anytime soon. So once I click this, all of this will be closed. It's very good once you open multiple views in your project. So I'm just gonna click here, and then as you can see, everything will be closed. And then it's a good thing to save your project, and also our dimensions that we're gonna use. So I'm gonna type in UN. It will open project units, and we're using millimeters. So for me, it's the best way of putting or explaining some stuff, because you can go on to so instead of meters, at least millimeters. Well, you'll be able to go into deep, and you can be able to add in dimensions, which is point something like that in meters. So at least it's less confusing. So right now, the thickness of our exterior wall will be differ for our interior wall. So here, let's go to architecture, click on wall, and we're gonna use generic 200 millimeters. I know for Revit 2021 and upwards, so the new ones, you guys don't have generic 200 millimeters anymore. So basically, the difference between a generic and this one's with brick on CMU is generic walls doesn't have anything inside anymore. So it's basically cleaned. So for my suggestion for you guys that has 2021 and higher, you could just choose one of this, and then what you do is edit type, duplicate, and then type in exterior wall number 1, press OK, edit this, and just remove everything. Of course, chord boundaries, structure, and all of this won't be able to delete. So as you can see, even though I've tried to deleting it, you won't be able to delete it. So now we could put in our thickness of 150. So let's do 150 and then 100 for the other. Here, we're gonna change the materials to anything white. So for you guys, maybe gypsum wallboard will be good enough. So that will be our exterior wall. Press OK and then OK. So here I made a mistake. We could just rename it exterior wall number 1. So that's good. It will be changed. And then for the others, that you just need to duplicate it. Duplicating it is a smart way of is creating something new. So every time you're creating something new, you need to duplicate it. It's a good way of having the same one still be available. So as you can see, as you remember, we choose, I think, this one, brick um, on metal studs, and at least I could use it on future project, or I can still use it on this project. So at least you didn't overwrite anything like that. So it's a good way, and it's just the standard way of doing things. So now we have our exterior wall, and we're ready to add. But before that, you will need to change. So as you can see, base constraint is level 1. You will need to change the top constraint. You can use it, you can change it right here, or you could change it right here as well. So there's multiple areas that you could change that. So you can apply, and then here you could just move it right there. So it's easy to change it. And then now here, location line, we're gonna use center line. Most of the times people will use finish face exterior, interior, or whatever they want. But for now, let's use wall center line. And then chain is already checked, so that's good. Allow join status, so everything will be joined all together once it's highlighted there. So now, what we could do now is add in the first exterior wall. So obviously we're gonna choose A1 to start. So here I'm gonna add into A1 all the way to E1, and then going down to here right onto E5, going across right here to C5, and then going all the way to, so after C5, I want you guys to just type in 3000. And then after that, we need to go to 3000 again, going down, and then here we're going to A, and then from A going back to A1. So here we go to C5. You will need to type in 3000 to go on the left side, 3000 again to go to going down, and then close it off in going to A. So just go to A and then close it off to A1. After that, what we could do is we could just extend this all the way to E6. This one, A6. So we're just extending the wall. So that's perfect. That's fine. So we could remove this later on, but for now, we're just going to keep it. It's basically the barrier. This is the wall, and this will be a barrier wall. So we're going to change it later on, but I just want you guys to push it so that we know everything will be included there. Even right here, this will be a barrier. We're going to add in an exterior wall right here as well. So what we could do is click on wall again, and exterior wall is the last thing that we added, so it will be added strictly right there. So here I'm gonna go to E2 all the way to B2, and then going down to B3, and then closing it off to A3. So this will be a barrier wall, and actually this will be the building. Okay, so I'm just showing you guys how to do it. We could just change this off later on, or we're going to hide it. So we have a lot of ways to do it. So right now we're just gonna finish here, and then we're gonna continue on the next video. So thank you for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below.